Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, International Warring Out There, Me and Molson Zia Missing, available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. We're here with a wonderful lady who's a founder and CEO of a virtual assistant company. She's been doing since 2020, and she's also experienced in the legal and insurance industry, and she's also a burnout survivor on a mission to help others avoid the same fate by basically offering virtual assistance to business owners, entrepreneurs, busy professionals, and more, and also experience with a small business, freelancing, and offers just a lot of things from the basic administrative tasks to content management to website building and a lot more. But getting coffee, well, I guess that's a different story. And she's the owner of River City Virtual Assistant. So if you're looking for a virtual assistant or become one, we'll find out just 1 minute. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Richmond, Virginia, the amazing founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Katie Santoro. Katie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's great having you on board, Katie. So you're a founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants. You started in 2020, and you have experience in the legal and insurance industry. You also are a burnout survivor on a mission to help others avoid the same fate, and offering virtual assistants to busy professionals, business owners, and just about everyone who needs a virtual assistant. And of course, you have experience in small business, freelancing. You offer a lot of services, including basic administrative tasks, content management, website building, and I'm sure coffee is going to be talked about later on as well. I'm sure somebody else would do it. So basically, before we talk about River City Virtual Assistants, Katie, tell us how you first got started.
All right. So I got started in this in 2020. As you mentioned, I started my career in the legal field. So I started as a paralegal, and then I moved into the insurance world. And I just suffered burnout. In 2019, I was working full-time in my job, and I also had opened a small business. I always knew that I wanted to be a business owner. So I was running a yoga studio when I was working full-time, and I hit burnout. I was trying to do it all, working as many hours a day as possible. It was physically demanding. It was emotionally demanding. So in 2019, I left my career, and I was running the yoga studio. And then in 2020, we all know what happened. March of 2020,
Right.
the
We
pandemic
only
started.
explain that part unless somebody
Yeah.
wants to hear it over and over again, short-term memories or whatever it is, or somebody has ADHD or something like that. So
Yeah, we all remember it pretty clearly. So at the time, I went to my now husband and I said, I got to go back to work. I have this yoga studio that I have to pay rent on. We're not making the money we were making. I took the studio completely digital. I was teaching classes from my office, which was not fun. It wasn't the same connection. And he basically said, absolutely not. You were a monster. What else can you do? And I said, well, I've always had this idea of just like freelancing. I could do freelance paralegal work, or I could, maybe do some freelance admin work. And it was really my first intention was freelance paralegal work. And I've actually done none of that since I've started. I found pretty quickly that small business owners and entrepreneurs needed people who were consistent and reliable. During that period, everybody was working from home. They were trying to outsource to virtual assistants, and the virtual assistants would just ghost them. So I really started my business with the foundation of being reliable and consistent, and it's just kind of grown from there.
And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career? What was that one moment that simply said, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. When my husband said, absolutely not, you can't go back to work. What else can you do? It was a pivotal moment.
And certainly is. And you talk about burnout as well, too. And what are some of the effects that were you feeling on burnout? It's like, what are some signs, signals, and all that? How could you tell it was burnout?
Oh, I first knew, I read an article, and the article was on burnout. It was kind of a emerging topic at that point. And that was probably around 2018. I was going through some physical burnout, spiritual burnout, emotional burnout. So unable to regulate my emotions. My skin was breaking out. I was gaining weight. I wasn't sleeping, but I was always exhausted. And the really big moment when I knew that I had to make a change in my life is a friend of mine came to visit, and she lives in another country. We grew up together. She has 2 children now. She had one at the time, and she came with her daughter and her husband. And I had zero time to spend with them. And I had zero like I had zero energy to be with them. I wasn't present at all. And I realized that I was destroying my relationships. I was destroying my own body. I was destroying my own like physical body, my spiritual body. And then I was ruining relationships around me.
Hmm.
And that
And
was kind of, for me, I said, this is burnout and I can't continue like this.
and of course, you have signs of burnout as well too. Maybe some of the other signs of burnout that you don't have, but some of the other people do. That's been a big subject all across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. I read something recently that was really interesting. And it said that, we talk about burnout and like self-care and how we get through it. And one of the things that the article suggested is that it's our own expectations of ourselves that can push us into burnout. And I was an overachiever. I've been an overachiever my entire adult life, at least. And I've had to recover from that. So I also like to say I am a recovering overachiever.
And certainly it does as well too. And how to get people to avoid burnout, we'll find out in just 1 minute with the founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants, Kitty Santoro. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evan endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Nails. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com or 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Apple Music, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Also LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads as well too. And make sure you take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts year-round, 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants, Kitty Santoro, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about River City virtual assistants as well too, that maybe you can describe the ultimate virtual assistant and what are you looking for in a virtual assistant?
Oh, gosh, virtual assistants can do so much. We have a really talented team. We have 17 people on our team, and they do everything. So perhaps you need help with your accounts receivable, sending out invoices, or you need somebody with HR experience. We can get into a little bit more about where our team comes from and how we've grown it. But
Absolutely.
we have a team that's they come from diverse career backgrounds. So other parents and caretakers that want to be in the workforce, but don't want to be in that traditional 9 to 5. They need flexibility to take care of their families. So our team is so many different skill sets that they bring. I think the ultimate virtual assistant is someone who's going to be curious and supportive, wants to figure out how to get things done when you need them done. Maybe someone you can go to and say, hey, I've got this problem. I don't know how to solve it. And that assistant, is a problem solver and is going to be reliable and there for you to kind of partner with you and help you through the struggles of business.
And what does it take to become a virtual assistant? Let's say if they want to join your company, what does it take to be a virtual assistant?
Yeah, so we hire all US based, college educated or similar. Our team members have, backgrounds and careers that they had. We hire a lot on culture. There's a lot to be said for hiring on culture, not just skill sets. Skills can be taught, and we do offer training, we offer mentorship, and we have that ongoing throughout their time with us. But we like to hire other parents and caretakers who really do have a focus on, coming to work, doing their job, doing it really, really well, but then having that balance of life of being able to take care of their families at home.
You also mentioned the problem too that you would try to hire a virtual assistant and they literally ghost you. How do you prevent that with your company?
Ooh, so we prevent that by employing our team members. So everybody on our team is employed by us. We don't contract. That kind of gives us a little bit more control over what we ask them to do. We can ask them to show up and work a certain amount of hours. We ask them to time block their time. So we know that they're dedicating the hours that the client has paid them for. They're dedicating that time to them directly. And also, it's also part of the culture. So because we employ, we do team events and we make sure that we're taking care of everybody and training them and giving them the things that they need and supporting them as any other employer would. So we found that keeps them really reliable and stops them from ghosting because they're part of a company, not just a, freelancer.
And what are some of the industries that are in the highest demand for virtual assistants that you often see?
Say that one more time.
What are some of the fields that have the that you see very often in need of virtual assistants, like say sales, insurance, and legal, and all that, for example? What are some of the fields that is in the highest demand or highest need for virtual assistants?
It's actually so diverse. I would say less in a field and more in the people who need support. So we work a lot with executives. So they need an executive assistant, right? Somebody who's going to be able to really help them on that next level. And entrepreneurs. So people who are solo on their own and they need someone to work with them, but they're not ready to hire someone full time. So we work with a variety of industries. I would say it's more working with executives and entrepreneurs than it is a specific industry.
And how does your company stands out from the rest?
I think that employing our employees or our team members, we employ them. I think that's a really big difference. We are completely US based. A lot of companies are, based out of the Philippines, but we are totally US based. We also put our employees through training. So we offer them mentorship. The first 3 months with us, they work directly with the mentor. They meet with them every week. That's a time to problem solve. It's a time to train them on new programs, new systems that they need to learn. And then we continue that support throughout their time with us. We match team members together. So if a client were to ask their assistant to do something and the assistant didn't really know how to do it, they're not going to rely necessarily on the client to learn how to do it. They're going to come to our team and they get our whole team's knowledge base. So they'll come back to the team and they'll say, hey, my client asked me to do this. I'm really not sure how to do it. Does anybody know? And then we match them together. We'll say, yeah, so-and-so is doing that with their client. Why don't you guys get together? We pay that person to train the assistant and they work together to learn new things. So you really get the knowledge base of our whole team.
And what are some of the skills, the classes, and everything that you offer as well? Like, you used to be typing back in the day, or like say working with office equipment, or even say a coffee maker or something. Like, what are some of the skills that you offer, training, certification, and everything else? Like, say, they're lacking in typing and everything else. What are some of the classes that you offer?
So we do expect them to know how to type. So that's kind of common at this point. But we provide a professionalism class. We believe that there's ways to show up professionally for your clients, and you need to do that, especially if you're in any kind of role that's facing their team or their clients. We do a really basic note-taking class, which I know sounds silly, but note-taking is such an important skill when you're trying to learn what people need. You need to be able to take those notes and repeat it back to them and make sure you've got all the information that you have from them before you finish your conversation with them. And then we also offer really fun things, like we do some trainings on AI and how we can use AI to help our clients generate thoughts to write more content for their social media. We do trainings on using different social media scheduling platforms so that they can, schedule out social media for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then it kind of varies from there. It all kind of depends on what the assistant is working on and whether someone else on the team has that knowledge base and can train them.
And what about Chat GPT?
Ooh, I love ChatGPT. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, we don't necessarily do a training on it, but we talk about it a lot. So you'll see a lot in our group chat. Somebody will drop in and say, I, used ChatGPT this weekend somebody wrote like a speech for a wedding with ChatGPT. And we just kind of talk about, the prompts that we're using and how they work. And AI has moved so quickly in this past year that it almost doesn't make sense for us to trade them as much as it does for us to just have that ongoing conversation of this is what has changed. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it together.
And of course, speaking of change as well, too, getting back to the burnout as well, too, that you want to help people who are burned out in the process of burning out. How do you prevent burnout when people work for your company?
Oh, so, being an entrepreneur or a business owner or even an executive, anybody in a higher level of power at work, their expectations of themselves are going to be really high. And we all pile on as much as we can. It's a cultural thing, right? Like learn more, do more, progress more. And you can't do it all. You simply can't. That's how you burn out. So we give them support so they don't have to do it all. And part of that is providing, intelligent support, reliable support. If you can't trust your support, then you're just going to be even more stressed out. But when you have a reliable partner to help you through some of the tasks, it can be life changing. So helping them kind of lower their expectations of themselves by saying, "Hey, I can accept this support."
hmm and certainly do. And once again, how does one become a virtual assistant, and how do they apply?
So for us, we have an application process because we work with parents and caretakers that have, been out of the workforce or, are kind of making a change in their job. We don't ask for a resume. We have an application. It's on our website. It is at rivercity-va.com/careers. And you can fill out the application there. And we give you the opportunity to talk about things like what you learn outside of work, because work isn't everything, right?
Right.
Different
Yes.
skills that you have, different skills that you have that you've, one of my favorite questions on the application is what is something that you've taught yourself and how did you go about learning it?
Mm.
Tells so much about our applicants and what they're doing.
That is rather interesting. And what's coming up for Katie Santoro of River City Virtual Assistants? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's They're Missing. We'll be back with Katie Santoro, the founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants, after this timeout. We're back at Katie Santoro, founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants here on the Mike Wagner Show. And Katie, you talked a lot about your company. I think this is a really great idea. We're encouraging people to apply, become virtual assistants. And what can we expect in 2024 and beyond?
So we have our goals, our growth plan is to expand to 100 assistants on our team. With that, we can support about 240 individuals, which is a huge number. We'd really just like to continue building what we built, providing employment to parents and caretakers in the US, and also providing support to business owners and executives as they grow their businesses. So we just want to continue this like cozy little realm of support that we've created.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. I'm looking forward to applying, and I hope everybody does the same thing too. If you're looking for work, you can contact Katie. And speaking of that, we'll get that in a couple of minutes. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, I don't think that there's any one person. I am always inspired by women who go outside of what's expected of them. So stepping away from, a career path that we've been told that we should go down, or, maybe for some people, choosing a different family structure or living in a different place. Just women who have gone before me and have been on a different path than we're told that we should be on. I'm just very inspired by that.
And certainly indeed. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Advice about what?
Just in general.
In general. Oh, that is so broad. Really don't check the boxes. Like don't live life checking off the boxes that you're told to check, both in business and in relationships and in your career. Follow the path that feels best for you and that speaks to you.
And certainly a great idea as well, too. Once again, we're the founder and CEO of River City Virtual Assistants, Katie Santoro, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Katie, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? And how do people apply?
So our website is rivercity-va.com. If you go there, you can apply at our careers tab if you're interested in working with us. And if you're, or working for us, if you're interested in working with us, there's a button on that link. You can schedule a call directly with me and we can talk through how we might be able to help you.
Sounds great. And what's the website again?
rivercity-va, as in virtual assistant.com.
We'll certainly check that out. We encourage everybody to do the same. Once again, Katie, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. Wish you all the best. And Katie, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate your time.